Greetings and welcome to a Wednesday edition of the Shotgun Start. It is April 30th. Andy, how we doing?
Brendan, I'm doing okay. I'm to be honest, I'm worse for the wear again.
Again, the pub life is just popping you. We're recording this at 7 a.m. Eastern time, so you've had a little bit of time to get your sea legs under you, but that can sometimes be the worst.
I don't think I got any of the sea legs under me. I was up at 5 a.m.
I don't even know if that's the right term.
I was up at 5 a.m. to shoot footage, so it was real rough. I'm not gonna lie.
The pub life is popping you. It's getting you over there in Scotland.
Killing me.
Weather looks amazing, though. It looks incredible
70 and sunny
in terms
today.
of temperature. That's great.
It's incredible. I didn't even pack shorts. It's like hot.
You need some dratty sports shorts. We're going to get to them in a minute there. We had that going.
It's amazing. It's amazing out. I mean, I don't know if anybody's heard this, but Scotland, great place to go play golf.
I've heard they've got some golf courses over there. Taking part with Friday Golf Club trip. That's
right.
Over there, which you can too if you join Friday Golf. We're doing more of these trips. We've got concierge free of charge. It's just free. But you're kind of chicken with your head cut off. If you're in Friday Golf Club, you can hit up the concierge. They can plan the trip. The trip's not free. The trip's going to cost you money. But the planning service, the coordination, the help is there for you. And so we're going to do a few more of these international trips. I know Garrett's got one to England later in the year. And then obviously we'll continue it forward as members for Friday Golf Club. And you're over in Scotland here. This is the first real big one we've done. So
the first one.
And Broom's Edge is open for club members as well.
Broom's
I believe our event. The edge of the broom. Broom's Edge.
It's not that.
Broom's Edge. Apostrophe S Edge. Broom's Edge. No,
now you're just trying to jam them.
No, I'm just trying to
jam them.
Just messing around. Broom's Edge. It's that's open too on the event front. It's a big Wednesday.
Is it a big Wednesday?
Yeah, I know Augusta, with the par 3 contest tries to own like the most dramatic Wednesday in golf. But we have an unprecedented, the most popular man in golf, the content king himself. We've got Blocky Watch. We've got a real Blocky Watch golf going on Wednesday at the Professional Championship. I wouldn't say he's trending. He's gone 64, 71, 75. So still pretty good shape. I mean,
he's
very
second,
good shape.
Right?
No. He's 7th. He's 5 under. He's 10 back of Tyler Collette, who's just mopping the floor with them down there, Port St. Lucie. So he's 5 under.
I'm blacked out. I can't.
You are. Scotland, UK. I saw complaints about this from over there.
They're trying to keep the world from Blocky.
Well, I mean, the world may have had enough Blocky.
Inevitable.
Maybe that's the whole point.
Only in the United States, apparently.
This could be dramatic. He's got a 12:19, or where's he at? 12:08 tee time. He's 5 under. Currently 2 under is the last man in, and I think could be a playoff. I'm not sure. I know they don't go over. It's 20. It's a hard cut at 20. It's not, they'll do a playoff 5 for 4, whatever they need to do. But he's not trending in the right direction, and we could have some Wednesday afternoon dramatics down at Port St. Lucie. So PGA Professional Championship is off and running, or is coming to an end here this Wednesday. Let's just jump in to our schedule for the week. You alluded to it, not the biggest week. We have the CJ Cup Byron Nelson, sort of everything, a real totem for sort of the gobbledygook of the last 15 years on the PGA Tour, whether it's a title sponsor, it's a golf course, it's a market, it's a schedule issue. And we're just create this Frankenstein of an event, right? We got to sort of serve this sponsor. We've got to serve this market. Oh no, we got to find a golf course. And what is the animating sort of force for why we choose something, why we create an event? Is it just to fill 4 days on a schedule to get us from one day to the next? Is it we got to be in Dallas Fort Worth? Is it we got to go to a TP? Is it a sponsor?
Because we have to honor Byron Nelson. We have to honor one of the great players of all time.
I think at this point they're dishonoring. They're dishonoring Byron Nelson at this point with what's happened. And this, of course, has been the long running thing, right? Not
everybody showed up when he was still kicking.
Right. Not to get morbid, but like when these guys pass, this is always a thing. Byron Nelson really, professional golfers stand on the shoulders of people like Byron Nelson, Ben Hogan, Arnold Palmer. And so this was always the thing. Tiger would come. Everybody would come. It was a massive event. And so since he's passed, obviously maybe there's been guardrails put on for the Bay Hill. But the Nelson's kind of been on a 15 to 20 year, just kind of caught in the wind. And now we have this Korean event that was the CJ Cup is sort of, molded onto the back of it. And we have the CJ Cup Byron Nelson at TPC Craig T. Nelson Ranch. And it's sort of a mess. The field is 156 players. It's a big boy event. You get some of the Dallas guys like Scheffler and Spieth to play. And it's just the golf course is among the worst on the PGA Tour. And I think we could say that without being too critical. See, Lanny was on Golf Channel yesterday. Lanny's doing the media rounds. He was on Golf Channel yesterday talking about, he said, these guys that come back from LIV, we would like to see them play more. He's like, but there's got to be repercussions. And they're like, what, Lane? He's like, damned if I can figure it out. It seems hard. He said, I don't know if I could do. I don't know what the answer, but they got to be penalized. Ron Brooks, those guys got to be penalized. So he's doing the media rounds. It's Craig T. Nelson Ranch. Look, they did the Summerlin model. They went for par 72 to 71. It went from like 26 under to 23 under. Is basically it's 7,500 yards, par 71, pretty flat piece of ground in Texas. It is like the quintessential sort of Emperor Has No Clothes exhibit of like length does not test, is pure length does not test these guys. They're going to go to 25 under. They're going to race out 7,500 yards, par 71 doesn't matter. They're allegedly growing the rough up a little bit, whatever it is, like a half an inch more. They've switched. I think I read from Bermuda to Rye and letting it go a little longer.
Yeah, that's going to do it.
It's going to be soft.
Bermuda rough. The best is that Bermuda rough is the hardest thing for these guys to play out of, and they're going to Rye.
That's what I read. It's believe it or not, it's going to rain.
No way.
Early May, late April, in the Metroplex. Where this has just been this tournament's recent history. So it's going to be long. It's going to be soft. And it's just completely uninspiring. It's completely uninspiring. It like makes you question sort of the purpose of this event. I don't mean to be like overly negative. I do think it's important for I think every rookie is in the field just about it unless they chose not to play. And it's a larger field. So it is that opportunity. But what is the animating purpose? And, the Strategic Sports Group is in on the PGA Tour now, and the tour's having a great season, even when it's not a signature event. It's been going pretty well, I would say, more or less since about Pebble. But if we are going to try to make everything better, the SSG they're swinging the cudgel these days. They're in the weeds these days. But if we're going to try to really hyper focus on product and efficiency and cost, why not try to make everything better or as best as it could be, right? It feels like just plopping this down at Craig Ranch, letting Lanny Watkins do it in an era when it feels like, you've covered this now for 10 years. like there is sort of an awakening on golf course design. There are materials more readily available. There are
there's lots of golf architects that are
there's young guys maybe looking for shots.
I mean, one of the issues is that the tour's design staff is,
well, this is a larger, not just Craig Ranch, not just an isolated Craig Ranch thing. I'm talking like let's like focus on the weekly event and build out from there. Maybe it's an SSG initiative they could take.
The tour's designed services and setup crews that go down to Australia and ask venues to grow rough, right? Like they just like simply don't understand golf architecture. So it's not surprising that they hired Lanny Watkins. I'm sure that Lanny's got a tie to the club, and he's a local guy down there, a legend of the game. There's all these reasons to hire Lanny Watkins, none of which center around his golf course architecture acumen,
And this is sort of the Frankenstein nature of the tour. And if SSG, look, there's sort of a debate of like, I know where you stand. Like, do venues like really drive like ratings or really drive like the overall quality of the product? It's like, maybe it's not majority, maybe 75%, but whatever percent, why not try? Why not try to make everything as good as possible? And so, like, I don't know, the occasion of Craig Ranch Week, it felt like something to talk about. Like, just, is this a real substantive attempt to make everything like incrementally better? Maybe I'm not even asking for as top notch or the best as possibly could be, but just to make things better. And if that's the focus, it feels like there are so many materials out there. There are so many architects out there. This is maybe that's a focus that could be for the Strategic Sports Group, starting with this event and growing outward with the larger design team that you talked about. Because it does cater to a certain segment. It gets people who are in the boat engaged and enthused and sort of preaching the gospel to others. And so that's sort of where you kind of get kneecapped with a week like this going to Craig Ranch. You lose a little bit of enthusiasm.
Yeah, I mean, every venue doesn't have to be like the same type of masterpiece, but I think they should just avoid going to bad venues. And this is unequivocally a bad venue. I mean, keep in mind though, like the tour,
new tee boxes.
The tour can't have nice things though, because like they had Trinity Forest, but the players didn't like it. I bet if they went back to Trinity Forest now, because like just in general, I think golf course appreciation on tour is like a little bit higher than 7 or 8 years ago. I don't know if Trinity Forest would have them back though. It's like the other thing. I don't know if they'd want them back.
Fair.
And that's like kind of the issue, right? Is that why would you want this event is a good question. Versus
if you're a top-notch golf club or course,
what their top golf courses are interested in, like one of the big sells of is the playoffs, right? Where there's 70 guys or 50 guys or whatever it, like
not
that,
every year rotation, maybe.
Yeah. Because there's so much less damage to the golf course. All the big names are playing it. Like that's like the sell to the really top tier venues, right? And I think that's the tricky thing is like you look at the field this week and it's like, Jesus, the second highest ranked player is Sung J M, who played in Korea last week and is flying back. He's trying to show the LIV boys the blueprint, how you deal with.
Yeah, continental, intercontinental travel from one to the next. Yeah, the LIV boys are touchdown in Korea already. They're doing their press conferences. Kevin Na is being trotted out there. It was a last place Ironheads. They're supposed to be. I don't know if they're getting like a ticker tape parade as they return home, but yeah, it's they're over in Korea this week. I want to talk about them on Friday for sure. We're gonna get to ratings. CJ Cup, Byron Nelson.
Were the ratings good for LIV?
No, they're very, very bad. I'm going to talk about
12,000. Did they beat 12,000?
No, they beat 12,000. And they peaked at 110 on Sunday. So Zurich with a power outage and a rain delay was over 2 million. It's just, and they had like, I want to say 30,000 on like Friday. And then, was that right, PJ? Yeah, like 30. And then, 70 and 110 was the peak on Sunday. Not great for LIV. The Byron Nelson is 9.9 million, all that. And we're playing for almost $10 million. It was not long ago. That would be a hefty WGC purse. Notables are Sam Burns, Ryan Fox, Sungjae, Siwoo Kim, Scotty Scheffler, Jordan Spieth, Gary Woodland, and Will Zalatoris, a heavy Dallas area contingent. It's 4-7 on Golf Channel, 3-6 on CBS, ending on Saturday and Sunday. Taylor Pendy is your defending champ. He beat out Ben Coles by a stroke last year. It's just
Pendy.
It's
Pendy
it's like, hit it far, hit some long irons, and make
a ton of birdies.
It's your putting contest kind of thing. The greens stink, and that's it. And so, anyways, didn't mean
just
to go off on a tangent.
Gets his hands on it though.
Didn't mean to go off on a tangent, but if we're hyper focused, let's try to make everything a little bit incrementally. This doesn't feel like a substantive attempt to make things better.
I hear there's people standing in the way of SSG.
Really?
Yeah.
That's not entirely surprising. You've got a lot of constituencies here.
I got certain line painters standing in the way of innovation.
Monday qualifiers, Nelson Ledesma bringing his special sauce to the field. Bobby Massa was the big one. Bobby Speed, as he's known.
Speed boy.
The amateur. Hazeltine, he really kind of popped there. He's a trainer. He tried his hand at pro. He's a big boy. Just rips the ball. But he Monday qualified along with Ross Steelman, the Steelman himself, and Nick Watney, Monday qualifiers.
Nick Watney.
That's right. Made 8 birdies.
Nick Watney was a problem.
Monday qualified with a double on the car. That's hard to do. Monday qualified with a double, Watney. Reached into the old bag of tricks.
Turn back the clocks.
8 birdies for him.
God, Nick Watney in 2010 was just... If you didn't see it, you wouldn't believe it.
Oh, come on. One thing,
I'm telling you,
PJ,
he was just hit it high, towering iron shots. He was a bomber.
One thing PJ did bring to our attention that the CJ Cup Byron Nelson does have going for itself, where it's exceptional. It's apparently player dining. PJ, who brought this to our attention? Who posted this? None other.
No, I'll read the exact quote. Top 2 player dining of the year, and it's not 2, by Doug Gim. Doug Gim has declared that the CJ Cup Byron Nelson looks like he's got some short ribs, some sushi, dumplings.
Is Bibby Go getting in there? We're gonna get the Bibby Go ads again this week. Mm-hmm. So top player dining. So it does have that.
Let Laddie literally cook.
Literally cook. So we'll give him high marks for player dining. Do you have a one and done pick?
Watney won 4 times from 2009 through 2012.
It's a problem.
It's Tiger Woods' preferred playing practice round partner. One of them, Tiger, because he would push Tiger. Tiger could see it up close. Will stare his opponent right in the eye. That was one of his practice round guys.
I'm trying to think of who the comp is from the 90s era for Watney. Is he is he a taller version of John Houston? Is that the comp?
No, that's disrespectful to Watney. No,
I think that's disrespectful to Houston. What are you talking about? I don't think you got enough appreciation for John Houston. Guy could cook. He almost won the Masters. John Houston was a problem. He might have been the original problem.
With the shoes problem.
The sunglasses too.
Yeah. Do you have a one and done pick for the CJ Cup Byron Nelson?
I do. Massa? I have to make a pick. I'm not going to say that I feel good about it. I'm not plugged in. I'm not not really. Don't have my ear to the ground right now with my gambling. I'm gonna leave it to you two sharps. I'm gonna take Sung Jae Im, even though he's went to Korea. He's played the Masters, Harbor Town, flew to Korea.
Seems like not a good pick.
And then flew back. But I think he missed the cut in Korea, maybe on purpose. Maybe he was just trying to get back sooner.
Yeah. Yep. All right, PJ, who do you got? Sunjae Im. He's kind of like the superstar of this event between the Korean sponsor and I think he's highly rated, as you said.
I think he needs to play.
Why is that?
Oh, I think he likes to get into action. Just likes action. Needs to play.
He's just running parlays or something.
I mean, it's a busy time for sports right now.
It sure is.
There's a lot going on. NBA playoffs, NFL or NHL playoffs.
Is there a robust hockey betting market? That seems like complete insanity to bet on hockey. Given
PJ,
like the goalie just getting hot, it just seems
it's a lot of over-unders. A lot of people just taking the over on like a 5.5.
Sure.
It's the majority of the hockey market, I think.
Okay.
Why?
All right.
Over-unders? Yeah.
Yeah.
You
How many goals? Yeah. How many goals? That seems hard to handicap. Do they give are you given a goal? Is it like Devils -5.5, or it's just Devils like plus 110 or whatever?
-1.5 generally is the spread.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
That's crazy. That seems nutty. Okay. Who do you like this week at Craig Ranch, PJ? Everybody's waiting.
I'm going Steven Yeager.
I was looking at that.
He just can pound it around. I'm not worried about the long.
Makes a lot of birdies.
Yeah, can get hot. I think I'm pretty happy with this.
Okay. I think I'm going to use my Manacero pick here. I don't think he's in anybody else's models. It's a lengthy course. Probably not his speed.
It's a great one.
Real test of the lawn irons. This is a lawn iron game. Real test of lawn irons here. I'm going Matteo Manacero, the great one this week, just to mix it up. I need to go get off the hot trends, what everybody else is picking, the Jaegers, the Ims, the Tom Kims, the others. I got to go. I'm going Matteo Manacero.
I was thinking young Tom Kim, but then I looked at the year. Yikes.
What about it?
It's just not been very good.
He's been
not living up to his superstar building.
Yeah. Highlight's been riding the same plane as PJ from Augusta to wherever, New York, for whatever reason. All right, let's continue on.
I'm surprised he's not riding the PJ. No pun intended.
There you go. You brought up how you don't have your shorts at the beginning of the week for your hot week in Scotland. If you need to procure a pair of Dratty sports shorts, you go to bedratty.com. I think it's the Zach short.
The Zach short. And the Big Daddy Cool is a good short, too.
That's a good short.
You like your kind of classic cotton. I think it's cotton.
Don't quote us on the materials, but it's not as sporty material as the Zach short. My buddy, who I went to Disney World with, the dad, he had been influenced. He bought the Zach short. Forgot to use the promo code, though. SGS30. He was loving the Zach short. He's like, these are legit. These are amazing. This is not part of the ad read. This is his actual anecdotal feedback. Love the little strip that makes the shirts tuck in and stick. Incredibly lightweight. But he forgot to use the promo code. Pat did. SGS30 is the promo code. It'll get you 30% off. I am wearing, I believe it's the Cool Glazer polo. They sent these, they were part of the scripting for the Masters. I got it in a purple color. Let me get their colors right, because they come up with all these names. Crayola is canceled. We have fancy names for things. The purple is called Shame, which is interesting. I need to know the backstory behind that. I'm wearing Mac right now. It's a blue. I'm way, way in on this fabric, this shirt. Honestly, this is not just, just the ad read. This is I'm gonna be wearing this all summer. It gets hot in Maryland. It's already like 86 today. Might have to turn the air on before May, which is against everything I stand for. But the cool Glazer polo is a big winner for me. The sport shorts, if it's gonna get hot, and it is, the Glazer polo, I was really, really loving when they sent it to us at Augusta. So that would be my promo for this week. Go to bdratty.com. Use the promo code SGS30. That would be my pick. Glazer polo, Zach Short. You're layering over in Scotland, but all sorts of options. I'm not layering. For the warm season.
I don't even have layers because it's so warm.
Love it.
I'm going to be just Liam poloing. It's going to be 70, 71, 72 today. I'm just going to perfect Liam polo weather. PJ, are you warming up the day with a Powerade? Just getting it started with Powerade?
I am. Lemon lime Powerade.
Hey, how was Travelers Media Day? You guys were media boys the last couple of days.
We were.
Wet in your beaks. Did you get any good giveaways?
I did not. Did you, PJ? You got a TPC CRH.
TPC CRH. TPCRH.
It's like triptych.
I mean, honest to God, so it's the big letter hat if you're not watching this. And PJ, it says TPCRH across the front of it. I'm trying to think in what circumstances someone would recognize that and understand what that meant. Certainly not even the most hardcore of golf audience would be able to guess that. It stands for TPC River Highlands. Not a vol in sight. That's a disaster of a hat, and you're expensing that. Pete gave you the okay to expense that.
Well, he said if I wore it for the entirety of the next SGS recording, that I could expense it. So here we are.
I think you have to wear it. You have to wear it Travelers Week too.
Okay.
How was it, PJ?
Can do that.
How was it?
It was great. Chris Berman hosted a nice little breakfast. Scotty Scheffler zoomed in to talk about his win at the Travelers last year, but we got big dose of Boomer, which was I popped hard for that. It was great.
Did he have any nicknames? Was he doing his whole bit?
Yeah, he did put a Schwami prediction out there that Bennett Scheffler would make his first steps at the Travelers this year. The Schwami got in the mix and put out a prediction.
I think, I wouldn't say time has aged him well, but you want to go with Nick Watney was a problem.
Back.
You want to do the Watney was a problem. Like, Boomer was an absolute god to 1990s kids. That guy, 1990s kids. That guy was dealing. I'm sorry. As someone,
he might be the John Houston comp that we're
prime
looking for.
Time. He was the man. He was a god. He was nice. My brother dressed up as him for Halloween once, and he sent it to the picture of him, and he sent an autographed picture back to us. Boomer was the man, but just held on a little too long. Just got a little fast.
Let me tell you
what? He didn't evolve. He didn't learn any new tricks.
No, but he just plays the hits. Back. Fastest 2 minutes. I mean, it's just, you got to play the hits.
Did you play with him? Did you get paired with him?
No, I did not get paired with him.
He's waiting for the Pro-Am. He's not playing. Did he play?
Oh, he did. He did play yesterday. It was a bright pink shirt, like an electric pink, neon pink shirt.
Tail untucked by hole 3, I'm sure.
Yeah, got the Schwami out there. That was good. The Travelers people were fired up about Boomer's continued
Travelers.
Support of
Did you try and
the
drive the green?
At 15.
At 15, I did try and drive the green.
Where'd it go?
How'd it go?
I was probably 10 yards short.
Oh, really? Did you make birdie?
No, I made par.
Any birdies?
My chip was bad. Yeah, I birdied 17.
Wow.
Oh, well, how'd you play that?
That's
Around
the one
lake?
over the water?
Yeah.
It was downwind, so I hit a decent drive and then hit a wedge to 12 feet.
Were you out there playing bully ball? Were you bullying the course? Sounds like you were bullying the course. 10 yards short of 14, wedge into 17. Sounds like you were bullying the course.
I wouldn't say I was bullying the course, but I hit the ball well. I was happy.
Love it.
Some guys on this trip have some ideas for PJ activations.
What's that?
They think that one idea is that PJ, we set him up at a Long Island rail stop outside
LIR.
Bethpage.
Yeah.
And we have him have like an autograph stand where he can sign autographs, and fans can come ask him about the Mets, the Jets, the Johnnies, or golf.
Just holding court at the Bethpage train station.
Yeah.
If he's in, I'm in. If that's how he wants to spend his time, let's do it.
20 bucks to talk to PJ. That was their suggestion.
20 bucks. Okay.
That was their suggestion. This is not my suggestion. This was a group suggestion of how
sounds
PJ,
like a late night pub suggestion, maybe. I love
multiple people have stopped me on the street and asked me if PJ's around this week.
Yeah, I mean they're looking for him. I was at Senior PGA Media Day down the road. I said PJ might. If he's going to cover the Champions Tour, he needs to be down here at Congressional in whatever a month's time. So that's a big one. All right, continuing on with their schedule for the week on the Champions Tour, we have the Insperity Invitational at the Woodlands. Right after the women's major was there, the old guys come into town for the Insperity Invitational. That's 12 to 3:30 Friday, 3 to 6 on Saturday and Sunday on Golf Channel.
You know how we heard they had 80% more signage, 80-20, or it was 80-20?
Yeah.
Do you think that's SSG money getting the signage up?
No, I mean, for their sake, I hope not. I don't think that's like they took the private equity money and just dumped it into Champions Tour promotion. Is that what we think it is? This is $3,450,000 to the winner. The defending champion, you could give me 150 guesses, wouldn't get it. PJ, do you know who the defending champion is?
I do know just from
what's his
researching.
name?
Scott Dunlap.
Who's Scott Dunlap?
I couldn't tell you.
Wasn't a problem.
Notables Ernie Els.
We'd know who he is if he was a problem.
Notables Ernie, Retief, Podrick, Bernhard, Colin Montgomery, Jose Maria making a rare appearance on the Champs Tour. Vijay Singh and Mike Weir are your notables.
Nick Watney is 44. Do we think he's going to be a problem on the Champs Tour?
No. I don't think his game translates.
Why? What do you mean?
He's got too much pop in the bat. He's got too much pop.
You think it's Stu Sink problem?
Yeah.
Okay.
I think you got to watch out for guys like Soren Keltson. That's the blueprint for Champs Tour success.
May 17th. Counting down the days. We're ready.
We're getting close. We're 2
We're
weeks
getting
away.
close. We're getting close.
What's the event that week?
It's in the
I
middle
hope
of
it comes out into a major. And
I was
just
going to
wins a
say
major first event.
that's the middle of major season. The regions is that week, so I assume he's eligible for the Senior PGA. I don't know if he's going to get in at that point.
I mean, how does that work?
I don't know.
You're eligible, then you immediately get in all the majors. Schedule for the week: LPGA. We have the Black Desert Championship.
Hey, I don't want to distract us. I meant to do this.
What's up?
Have you looked at the alternate list for the Crike Ranch?
Yeah. McNeil is in there. Ahead of some notable guys.
James Hahn's the number one alternate. He's getting in.
Yeah. Yeah, we've already had a spate of WDs. A bunch of guys. I mean,
Tommy Gainey's on this list.
I didn't want to do the field, but yeah, it's they gave some young guys, I mean, a lot of young guys, sponsors exemptions. You know, Big Tom Morrison, Noah Kent, Chris Kim, the English kid. But there's also Zach Johnson as a sponsor's exemption. Then you have the Career Money Boys. I don't know. It's 156 guys. Yeah. So, you know, Kisner, Palmer, and Sneds are your Career Money guys. You got, a Korean contingent. Sun Kane got a past champs exemption. Sun Kane. Like, really? Of all the past champions, that's who we're going with? But he got that exemption. So yeah, there's a bunch of young kids in a mix. All the rookies are in. I don't know. What's up? PJ.
Speaking of alternate lists, we have Duffy Waldorf and John Huston on the Champs Tour alternate list.
John Huston.
I don't know.
What does that mean? We
I
talked
don't know.
about him 20
I
times
know,
already.
and
This very podcast.
Huston? It's too early. I'm just reading. I'm out.
John Huston.
John Huston.
You know what, PJ? You need to watch.
Houston has an O in it.
I know.
There's no O in this man's name.
Well, yeah.
Well, wouldn't it be
John
Houston?
Houston?
Like Houston Street in Manhattan?
Yeah,
sometimes
that's a great
there's
question.
all sorts of. You get all
PJ, I want you to rewatch one of the Masters he contended in, just so you get a little John Houston in your life. Guy was a flusher
on the LPGA.
He was
too much
PGA
John
Tour
Houston
microwave man. Nobody could cook. When he started cooking, he made birdie. Guy was a highlight reel.
I might go with John. I might go with Wayne Levy, our recent friend, 13-time winner on the PGA Tour. Might choose him. On the LPGA, we have the Black Desert Championship. Apparently, this is a resort owned by a private equity firm, right? I forget the name of it. Apparently, they're whining and dining, the women, private jets and comp this, that, and great meals. So they're returning to where they had the fall event on the PGA Tour. Lots of lava rock or black rock, I guess it would be called, in Utah. Notables: Ayaka Fudaway, Nasa Haraoka, Lynn Grant, Brooke Henderson, Kupcho, Maya Stark, Lilia Vu, and Ronnie Yin. This is just all over the place. 7 to 9 p.m., ending at 9 p.m. on Sunday, but you get a little app. It's just a mix of stuff. But again, a little late night or primetime LPGA from BlackRock. Purse is $3 million, or Black Desert, I should say. $3 million is the purse. And that's your schedule for the week. We've got those three. We got Byron Nelson, Insperity, and LPGA Black Desert. And then, of course, you have the Club Pro going on right now. That'll finish Wednesday night. I'll do, actually, we got a good blocky unsubstantiated rumor. I'll save that for later. Somebody told it to me literally on 12 at Augusta on Sunday following Rory. I'm like writing notes a mile a minute. I had a guy come up to me and want to talk to me about a blocky unsubstantiated rumor. So it's like, we got to save that. We'll use it another time. News, PGA Tour CEO search. This is who reported on Adam Stern of Sports Business Journal. Apparently, Steve Phelps of NASCAR is a target, among others, along with TaylorMade CEO David Abeles are top targets for the CEO position at the PGA Tour.
Wow.
So NASCAR guy and then David Abeles, who's at TaylorMade. He would be seamless transition to taking the players' sides against rollback. He's got all those talking points ready to rock. And just could jump right in to advocating for the players on that. But yeah, two prominent executives. Seems like, the more and more you hear about it, and of course we had spitballing at the end of the year in December, announced this in that TV interview. And there was sort of a lot of ambiguity, or at least murkiness, about what this role is. Not a lot of clarity, despite the lengthy TV interview trying to educate us. It seems like this position is the new head honcho and would be above Jay, or would be a transition out of Jay Monahan. That's I don't know if that's like a lock stock guarantee, because it seems like we're still sorting it out. But this would be sort of, as the title CEO would implicate the new leader of enterprises, but also kind of be over also the more classic tour nonprofit. So Steve Phelps, David Abeles, two targets.
Michael's brother.
Michael's brother. Don't know anything about him. We'll have to get the NASCAR boys on the horn. Is he well liked there? Who knows?
Should I ask some people at the pub tonight what they think of those two chaps?
You can do it. Yeah, you might as well. Let us know. Ratings, we talked about 110,000 for Joaquin Niemann's win at LIV Golf Mexico. Is 84,000 on FS1 Saturday and 30,000 on FS2. The Zurich Classic was down 12%. Obviously, they had Rory win it last year. it averaged 2.3 million, but 1.6 from 3 to 740. Coverage and once play resumed, they averaged 2.3 million, which would have been a 10-year high for the final round. So that's a pretty hefty number there, given the circumstances of the power outage. Like, quite honestly, like a cluster F of no one's necessarily fault, given the weather and the power out. Although who knows, there might be a guy who cut the wrong cord or something, but they still have a hot Sunday, so to speak. And FS1 and LIV, I don't know what to say at this point. I mean, they had an awesome leaderboard. They had a somewhat familiar venue. They had a North American time zone venue. And it just didn't matter. It doesn't matter. And I think I'm going to write about this for the newsletter on Friday. It's just,
well, they're going to get world ranking points. So,
that's the next bit of news. There's a Sportico report that they're in advanced talks with the OWGR board to try and get points. This is about a year after they withdrew their application, took their ball and went home. Greg Norman was then the chief. Scott O'Neill is now. There weren't a lot of details in the Sportico report. There's detail that O'Neill had a talk with Trevor Immelman under the tree at the Masters. Immelman is now I forget the title. He's the head of the OWGR, which is, a conglomeration of a lot of the major bodies. But given the outlet, I don't know where that's coming. I would need to hear more. I'd need to hear more from a golf outlet, given the parties involved. But yeah, apparently in advanced talks, maybe. I think a talk under the tree is not.
I think
de facto evidence. But.
From the OWGR's sake, it makes sense to want to try and get like Jon Rahm in the rankings again. Like, because I can't imagine OWGR loves that some of the best players in the world just like don't get points, right? From their perspective, as I think they try and be independent, right, of what's going on, and I don't know. It's a hard situation. I imagine that they would like to have,
points for what though? I mean,
I don't know. I don't know how you do it.
We don't know if there's qualifying. We don't there are criteria and they haven't met them. I agree with you on its face. It doesn't look right.
I understand that there's criteria they haven't met, but it makes their organization look silly when Jon Rahm's whatever he is in the world, 70 or something.
I wonder what he thinks right now.
What?
I wonder what Rahm thinks. This is what I was thinking about writing.
God.
Legion 13 gets the win.
Oh,
is he pumped about that? And 100,000 people watched it.
I think he's probably a little sad.
I think boy. as this goes
frustrated.
On, like, the letter jacket might be like the great crowning moment of LIV. As this kind of, this is not to suggest they have real players. It just 110,000 for their best leaderboard ever. It's not going in any kind of good direction. And I know they have like a real serious executive now, but the numbers just become a little bit more damning. And so, Beal made the point a while back that
doesn't measure the app. You got to count the app numbers.
Look, I know there'll be a big Korean audience this week, and they've got Singapore and they've got Riyadh and Adelaide. I know Australia, they've hit a little bit of a market there and tapped into something, but that's not a great report given all the things they had working in their favor this past weekend. Other news: Blades Brown passes on a sponsor's exemption to Byron Nelson because he's, chasing Korn Ferry status. He got a top whatever it is they do on KFT. I think it's top 20 you get in the next week on KFT. So he's got only 4 sponsors exemptions to KFT. This is one. This like gives him another out. This is an exemption via his play.
If he plays well this week, he's going to be pretty high up the points list.
Yeah, he's close enough. So for most people, it's kind of a no-brainer. Go get some more points, then get that one more sponsors exemption and try to get it done, wrapped up, or do it all this week, whatever happens. So he skips or passes on a sponsors exemption on the PGA Tour to continue that KFT pursuit. I saw Smiley Kaufman had an interesting point. Like this was similar to what Jordan on his pod Spieth faced, and Spieth just said screw it, went to Puerto Rico and balled out and finished like second and played on the PGA Tour and just did it. Not just a guy back then. P Cup captains announced for Medina next year. Jeff Ogilvy will be the international captain. I don't think that comes as a massive surprise. And Brandt Snedeker, an instant yes, he said, for the USA side. So we have Sneds versus Ogilvy at Medina next fall.
Exciting. I'm excited. I as a Chicagoan, Medina is our big championship course. And major golf should be played in Chicago. It's a complete shame that we probably won't have a major championship for the next 3 decades. Which is just ridiculous.
Kind of crazy. Yeah,
it's insane.
Yeah, separate combo, but yeah, I mean, given Oakland Hills is set up and all,
arguably the greatest golf city in the country. You know, you could, and obviously New York, you could make the argument. Philly, you could make the argument, but it's going to be a cool event. The new Medina is awesome. I think it's a super fun championship course. It'll be a great. There's some great holes for match play out there, and it's neat. It's a neat tie-in that. Obviously, Ogilvy was part of the design firm that redesigned this iconic Chicago, club. So
one question I have about him though is like he, in a way that Trevor Immelman's on tour essentially via his work. Mike Weir on the Champions Tour on tour. Ogilvy in a good way, has a design business. I know he has a home in Arizona, also in Australia, a good amount. He's going to now. I have no doubt that he'll invest it, but he's just not around as much as Ernie Champs Tour, active on tour with these guys playing. Immelman.
Just wait till he gets his sponsor exemption starts so he can watch the boys up close.
Yeah, I don't know that makes one a good captain or not, but he has been a little bit more removed than, say, recent guys. Sned's not. Sned's still pounding.
My question with Ogilvy is he going to be the manager, the captain that pushes back against the data? Lots of data
versus what?
Well, some coaches are pushing back on data. The data boys are being shoved out of some rooms lately and in other sports.
I think so.
Is this the captain that comes in and pushes back on some of the data? Says maybe we should just play our best guys. Maybe we shouldn't leave Cam Davis at home.
It's certainly a discussion maybe he'll bring to the forefront.
You know what he might want to do while they're in the team room?
What's that?
Man, we sure are spitballing, aren't we, Rich?
Might just do some spitballing.
One would think he'd also be in line for the next one at
Kingston Heath.
But who knows?
Maybe
it seems like continuity would be good there.
Maybe Trevor will do it. Maybe Big Ern will go back to the Sand Belt and finally win his. That
would be cool. Get one. Other news, we have the Tour Championship format. I don't know if we have to get into that. Sounds like match play for sure out. No match play, Tour Championship. Just that was a non-starter amongst the players, but they're thinking about a cut to 16 for the weekend, then 8 for Sunday, and 5 to 8 play for ordering of a purse in that range, and then 1 to 4 play for a purse on Sunday for the top prize. So yeah, they are thinking about starting strokes definitely out. They're done. done with starting strokes, and whether it's this year or next, they're done with the net tour championship. Seems like that's gone. Who could have seen that coming? And the match play is just absolutely no. So we'll see if they get it done for this year. It's already past the halfway point, but format changes kind of continue to progress for the Tour's Super Bowl. I think that does it for news. Had a little bit on Stevens Cup going to Shore Acres, Port Marnock voting on course changes to host an Open. So yeah, some great venues maybe coming to
the Ebert man
television networks.
Getting into Port Marnock, huh?
Yeah.
Some sand scrapes are coming.
Marty Ball might be
maybe
coming.
What was it? Wee-Eye?
Wee-Eye, yeah. Liverpool. Yeah. Stevens Cup will be on TV
Black
in September.
Eye?
Shore Acres on Golf
Black
Channel.
Eye?
Because maybe some cheeky player threw that out there. You better watch yourself over there in the land of
right. I gotta watch my back here.
Yourself.
Forgot about that.
But yeah, Port Marnock may make some changes. Stevens Cup will bring Shore Acres to television in September. So that's some other news. All right. I think that does it for this Wednesday edition of the Shotgun Start. We'll be back with you on Friday. Talk to you then.